Hey, welcome back, students. In this video lesson, I want to go ahead and continue the discussion from last time. So let me go ahead and put some stuff on the screen that we used. And I'm going to go ahead and move this over here to the right. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, just so it's out of the way, but yet we can still refer to it. Okay? And so remember what I did is that we actually took this and we used it as a way to show that we can take a general statement conversion factor and come up with two fractions that we are then going to use in this lesson to figure out how many days there are in a very specific number of years. And so let me go ahead and write the problem on the screen, and then we'll use the two conversion factors that we just solved or determined and use them to solve the problem. All right, so here's the problem. We want to know how many days are there in 2.3 years. In order for us to solve this, we got to make sure that we know where to start. So you got to find the given. What is given? What information is provided to you in this problem? Typically, that's going to be a number. So if you scan through this and you read it, you're going to notice that the number part is right here. And so I'm just going to go ahead and identify that as the given. Now you want to also look at the part that you're trying to solve, and that's usually going to be represented by the phrase how many or how much. Notice if we read this again, notice that the part over here, how many days, is the unknown. This is what you're going to try to find in this problem. Now, before you even attempt to do this, you got to make sure that you understand that you're always going to start from the given amount, and you're going to make your way over to the unknown. And you're going to use a process of dimensional analysis to get there. Now we're going to explore a little bit more in later videos what that is, but for this video I'm just going to go ahead and solve this problem on conversion so that we can get an idea of what it is. So let's go ahead and start with the given amount. Notice here that the given is actually given to us as 2.3 and years. Now we need to go ahead and convert this to days, right? And so if we look at the two conversion factors over here on the side, from our general one, we had two fractions. The one where days is in the numerator and the other one where days is in the denominator. And so the only thing that's missing from this is days. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that there. So we need to decide which one do I use. Here's the general rule. You want to get the fraction in the conversion factor that you've got. So whatever fractions you've got for conversions, you want to use the one in which the units that you are looking for are in the numerator. So if I look at this carefully, the two conversion factors here, which one has the units of days, because that's in my unknown, that's what I'm looking for. Which of these two fractions has days in the numerator? Well, if I look at this one here, the units here are years. But if I look at this one over here, the units are days. So the one I want to use is actually this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in and do that. And so the way I actually do that is I'm going to go ahead and take the unit. I'm just going to write down the unit first. So I'm going to put days here and then years there. And so what I want to do is write the number associated with the conversion factor. So if I look at days over here on the right, notice that the number associated with that is 365. So I'm going to go ahead and write 365. And then the number associated with year is going to be a 1. So I'm going to go ahead and write 1 in the denominator. If I do this, notice what happens. Years are going to cancel. That leaves the unit of days in the numerator. And that is exactly what I want for this particular problem. And so once I do that, I'm going to go ahead and solve this. I'm just going to go ahead and put this here is equal to, and so I should be able to have the solution placed here. And so go ahead and do the math there. Go ahead and grab that calculator of yours and figure out what the answer is. So take the 2.3 and multiply that by 365, and you should end up with an answer of 839.5. And notice here, the answer is what I've provided here is the one that I'm getting right out of the calculator. So if you recall from the previous discussions on scientific notation, since we are multiplying numbers here, what you want to make sure you do is you report to the right number of significant figures. And so the lowest number of significant figures is going to be associated with the smallest number, the only number, which is 2.3, and there's only two significant figures here. Okay? And so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and report our answer of 839.5 to two significant figures, which means the line is going to be right here at the 83. So I look at the 9, which is in the third position. It is greater than 5, so that means this 3 is actually going to be bumped up to an 85. 4. Okay? And so that means that 9 then becomes a 0. And I'm going to leave it like this because I'm not going to put a decimal. If I add a decimal, then that will give me 3 significant figures. But if I leave it like this, the 8 counts as significant, as does the 4, but the 0 does not. And this actually is the answer that I want here, as long as I remember that I need to also include in this answer my units of days. The unit and the number are part of the entire answer. So if I forget the units, that's not really going to be the right answer for this particular problem. Okay, so this is how we use conversion factors. Hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, come see me in tutorial. But keep watching, keep learning, and we will see you in the next video lesson.